Today we're going to do some very unscientific testing of 6 of the more popular keychain multi-tools. Now the keychain multi-tools that I have here are the Gerber Shard, the Gerber Mullet, the Kershaw PT-1, the Kershaw PT-2, the CRKT Pryma, and the Nite Ize DoohicKey. Now I chose these 6 tools because they are all similar tools in their design and purpose. They're all keychain tools. These are all relatively popular tools, and they all cost $10 or less. At least they did at the time I purchased them. Some of them the price has gone kind of up and down as people are buying Christmas gifts. I'm not going to be testing everything that these tools do. I'm just going to be testing some more common uses, prying some things up, turning some screws, that sort of thing. I'm not going to test the bottle opener on any of these tools. You can open a bottle with pretty much anything. But I'm going to test the other tools. Let's see how they do, and then I will rank them on my very scientific 1 through 6 scale. So this is how I will be testing these tools. I have got a board with a number of different screws. I've also got a box to test the box opening ability, since that's something that I use this type of tool for most often. Our first tool will be the Kershaw PT-2. Next up is the Gerber Shard. This bottle opener is pretty close to a 1/4 inch, so next up is the CRKT Pryma. This is really not fitting into that 1/4 inch spot. Our next tool is the Kershaw PT-1. I'm not even budging this, and I'm trying to bend this hanger over top and hold it to give me the best leverage I can on that nail, and I'm not even budging it, so don't think we're getting that nail out. Next up, we have the Nite Ize DoohicKey. Our last tool is the Gerber Mullet. Alright folks, now that we have done our very unscientific testing, let me give you my results. I did one more test that I did not record, and that was the pocket test. I clipped each of these tools onto this bunch of random keys that I can't find locks for, put them in my pocket, walked around, sat in a chair, got in the car, but I didn't record that because I didn't think that anybody needed to see me walking up and down my driveway and getting in and out of the car with a bunch of random things in my pocket 6 times. In 6th place, last place, the CRKT Pryma. It's the heaviest, it's the largest, it's very uncomfortable to carry in your pocket because it's very, very pointy, and it's also one of the least functional. Some of the tools, like this glass breaker on the end, I don't think that will actually help at all. That sticks up such a minuscule amount. You would be hard pressed to even hit glass and get that tiny little ball to make contact with the glass when you hit it. I think you'd have better luck just hitting glass with this point. Probably be safer too. The 1/4 inch hex on here did not fit any 1/4 inch screws. Maybe that's just a problem with the tool that I got, but for all of those reasons, this is in last place. In 5th place, we've got the Kershaw PT-1. Heavier than some of these others, and it just doesn't have a lot of function. You've got this old pry bar. I like that it's got this chisel shape that works pretty well at getting under things like those staples. And you've got a pretty decent screwdriver on this end. Not a lot of other functions. Carrying this in your pocket, it's not too bad, other than that it's just really thick. Next up, we've got the Kershaw PT-2. This tool has a lot of functions on it, and I like that it has a can opener on here. That's pretty cool. That's something that none of the other tools have. These hex drivers in the middle, this tool's very small to be tightening up a 1/2 inch lag bolt or a nut or something. Phillips driver on this, pretty much non-existent. It's longer than most of the other keys and things in your pockets. Wasn't useful enough for me to put it any higher than number 4. In at number 3, got the Nite Ize DoohicKey. This is the cheapest tool that I've got here, and it's also the smallest and lightest weight. It has decent little hex wrenches in there. It does have a chisel shape, so it's flat on the bottom. Work better for scraping or getting under things. You don't have a smaller flathead, you don't have a Phillips driver on there. But for most everyday things that you'll run into, I think this would cover most of them. This was also one of the most comfortable to carry in my pocket with the keys because it was so small and lightweight, and it doesn't have any sharp pointy parts. In at number 2, the Gerber Shard. It's got a lot of great functions. I really like the angled pry bar on this. Flathead screwdrivers do leave a lot to be desired. Phillips driver on this works pretty well. It is pretty pointy on the ends. It's not that much bigger than your keys, so if you're carrying it on a bunch of keys, you don't really notice it. Even though it doesn't have any hex drivers, that bottle opener still worked to grab onto some 1/4 inch screws. This is solid 2nd place. So that brings us to the winner of today's very unscientific EDC pocket keychain tool tests, the Gerber Mullet. The Phillips screwdriver on this was fantastic. It was the best of all of these tools that I tried. The 1/4 inch hex drive on the end here worked really well. Having it all the way at the end gave a lot more leverage. Pry bar, hanging at an angle, a lot more prying power. This is not the most comfortable to carry on your keys. It is larger than some of these others. It does have some pointy surfaces, but I really like this key hanger here. You can use this tool, slip this on your belt, a belt loop, over the webbing on your backpack straps, and use this to hang your keys. So this one goes to the number 1 spot for today's very unscientific tests. That is the results of my very unscientific pocket EDC tool testing. If you want to see the other EDC type things that I carry in my pockets with me, you can click on the video that is up over here. Until next time, I will see you later.